Good afternoon. I'm here to give you a layman's perspective. So actually I asked them, what am I doing in a techies conference? I'm not a techie. But they said that give a layman's perspective to the techies. So that's how I'm here. And we had a beautiful talk from Ramkumar, and he has almost mentioned many of the things which I have mentioned, and some two beautiful videos which I really loved. So let's get on with this. Sony was one of the biggest attacks in the world. On 24th of November 2014 at 7 a.m., there was a crushing cyber attack. Employees logging into the network met with sound of gunfire. Look how beautifully they do this. They do it with a lot of bells and whistles. Scrolling threats and the menacing imaging of fiery skeleton looming over the tiny zombified heads of two top executives. They actually wanted them to know that they have been hacked. And if you really look at what happened, the malware wiped out half of Sony's global network, erased everything stored on 3,262 of the company's 6,797 personal computers. I don't know whether there has been an attack like this anywhere in the world. And 837 of 1555 servers, more than 50% of all servers were hacked across the world. And special deleting algorithm that overwrote the data. They put a poison pill so that they don't come back. They said it will never be coming back. They overwrote everything. And the machines were totally brain dead. And if you see, it just took 1 hour to throw Sony back to the dark ages. And the studio was reduced to fax machines, communication through posted message, and employees' salary had to be paid by checks, which they had not done for ages. They had to employ a huge number of people to do that. And the hackers even threatened Sony employees and their parents and things like that. Now, what did this tell us? There are only two types of companies. The companies which know that they have been hacked, and the companies which don't know they have been hacked. Every bloody company has been hacked. If you see, nobody has been spared. I've given you a few examples here. Kaspersky is the guys who do the security. They were hacked also. Department of Defense was done. Target. Sundar Pichai of Google was targeted. Mark Zuckerberg was targeted. In fact, somebody wrote, if Mark Zuckerberg can be hacked, what are we all? But then when I read the article, he had used the password . If anybody uses the password , he is asking to be hacked. I mean, if he doesn't get hacked, something is wrong. Now, Twitter CEO, Wikipedia's CEO, Pentagon contractors, Facebook, Home Depot, everybody has been hacked. CIA chief was hacked. Facebook was hacked. Fortune 500, almost all companies have been hacked. Attorney General of India has been hacked recently. Dating site Ashley Madison, they don't leave anybody. Hotels of every size and type. Banks of every size and type, including Swift Global Network. The Bangladesh Central Bank, luckily somebody made a spelling mistake, they had to verify. Otherwise they would have lost $1 billion. Paris Hilton, Emma Watson, look at all the 25 celebrities which I could come across. Everyone has been hacked. Almost everyone except those using typewriters and pigeons. I think it may not be a bad idea to go back to pigeons. Who is hacking? If you look at the list, it's huge. Activists who are calling themselves hacktivists. Anonymous, a very famous hacker group. Your neighbor, colleague. In fact, there are surveys which show that people who hack are your neighbors more than anybody else. Not that fellow from Nigeria. A 10-year-old hacked Instagram. People who see Hollywood movies always see that FBI comes guns blazing and then they find an 8-year-old or 10-year-old. These are the guys who are very, very famous for hacking. Almost everyone except the farmer in UP. Maybe you can add the farmer in Bihar also. Sovereign governments have been hacking. Maybe because one government hacks the other government starts. North Korea was behind Sony, they say. Russia's began hacking Hillary Clinton. I don't know whether it is because of Trump or on their own. NASDAQ, US Defense Department, even a zoo. Why the hell would they? I don't know. Other places I can understand. Russia hacking a zoo, I don't know. China hacking New York Times, Pentagon contractors, Anthem attack. Chinese have something called Great Cannon. They say we can hack into anything. They can shut down US electric grids. China has stolen data which will identify all spies working for US. We're just waiting for them to be finished off. And Pakistan uses cyber mujahideen. And for every attack Pakistan does, India responds with 10. We also have enough number of people. Iranian hackers attacked US dam because US or Israel attacked Iran. They use everything. Ramkumar told us about the brutal computing power. There are computers which can hack any password. And if you use 1, 2, 3, 4, it takes probably microseconds, 1,000th of a second. Games, mails using malware, remote ATMs, smartphone batteries. I read recently cooling fans in computers can be used for hacking. Posting attractive women on Skype, you know the honey traps which military used to use. Hackers even use satellites. Don't think hackers are some guys sitting in Nigeria or Ukraine. They are now very sophisticated people. Smartwatch sensors can reveal your ATM pin. Smart light bulbs can read what you do. They can hack with internet. They can hack without internet. Who has been or will be hacked? Almost everyone. Saudi Aramco production was hit. UK rail network was hit. Stuxnet, Ramkumar told us about Stuxnet. So that was used to stop the Iranian nuclear reactors. And the German iron plant very recently happened. It was hacked and there was huge damage there. Ukrainian power plants have been hacked. A politician's fingerprint has been found out using public photos. One of you told me in the session that fingerprints have not yet been hacked. Sorry. Fingerprints have also been hacked, not through any sophisticated means. By taking many photographs, obviously you will have the fingerprint coming when I am showing my hand like this. By taking all the photographs, they have been able to find out the fingerprint itself. Of course, the Japanese way of finding out fingerprint is to cut off the toe. And then they found a way to find, the blood going through the veins, so that if you cut off the finger, it doesn't work. Politicians' fingerprint, I told you, hackers steal fingerprints from your phone also. Because my iPhone uses fingerprint, so easy to hack. This one was beautiful. There is a video if you want to see. You are riding in a room, you are having a meeting in a room. You have a potato chip bag sitting somewhere across from, let's say, 32nd floor. They can see the vibrations in the potato chip packet. I'm not joking. It's available. You can find and hear what these people are talking. So when you have a meeting, don't have potato chips in that room. Cars, including self-driven cars, because more sophisticated, Ramkumar told us, we also saw a video there. A prison was hacked and thousands of prisoners escaped. That's very dangerous, right? Suddenly you find your neighbor is done 22 murders. Tax refunds are hacked and medical implants, Ramkumar told us. First online murder is expected to happen shortly. If it has not already happened, it's like hacking. Maybe somebody has died, we don't know he has died because of hacking. Every bug is more powerful than the earlier one. So, shell shock was more deadly than heartbleed and so on and so forth. They make it more sophisticated as they go. Average cost of a cyber attack is about $2 million. Ransomware. One of the CA firms in Chennai was hacked. And they were asked to pay a ransom in bitcoins. Before they could understand what is Bitcoin, that fellow went incognito. The entire files of the CA firm are lost in Chennai. This can happen to any one of us in Madras, in India, in anywhere in the world. Previously, you know, only our gurus used to have 150 Rolls Royces, right? Rajneesh and others. Now you have one hacker owns 150 cars, 3,078 bank accounts. I don't know what the hell there's so many bank accounts, and 700 acres of land, obviously prime land, and seems to be a good time to be a hacker, ethical or unethical. Professional is good, at least you won't go to jail. Now, all of us are targeted. Don't think that I am a small man, I won't be targeted. Half of Britons are impacted. Your bank account can be bought for 50 cents. That's not a big price to pay for a bank account, especially if the balance is good. And all of us are exposed. So that's something which we took from. The passwords. Now passwords, a good password is very scarce. The worst password vote is going for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hell of a lot of people use that. And there are people using password as password. And I change my password everywhere to incorrect. Why? Because when I forget it, it reminds me your password is incorrect. So you know that password is that. Da used by Mark Zuckerberg. That was really a shocker to me. Past phrases are good, big phrases. I did my CA in D. Rangasamy and Company, something like that. Then you take all the first words. Bad grammar is very good because the computer does not know this. Bad grammar spelling. Spelling, poetry, these are things which you can use. And these are the passwords which are best avoided. These are the worst passwords of the world, big list of that. Imagine somebody is having soccer, chocolate. The future of password, if you look at it, it's all coming. Brain as password, because everyone's brain functions differently. Tattoos as password. Heartbeat as password. Of course, eye tracking is already there. And you can swallow a pill, and that pill will be the password. That means every morning, you swallow a pill, and that day's password will be that pill. All this is coming. And they will find a way to break that also. Absolutely, most of us are unprepared, as we found that date of birth is given everywhere, the right date of birth. In fact, if you give the wrong date of birth, it is good, because a fellow will try 3 times and say, my God, this fellow is useless. 40 to 76% of businesses are breached. 66% of Android phones are vulnerable. Ransomware hits 40% of businesses. Shocking. India, probably it's not that much, but it's coming. 4th highest number of hacked servers are in India. That was shocking to me. 4th highest number of hacked servers are very next to us. And CEOs in the dark, boards are clueless, and 50% of companies unprepared for distribution attacks, denial of distribution attacks. And cyber is a new nuclear. That is a war. Now, there are 2 things which I know which you can do, foolproof. One is the Manmohan Singh way. They said the only prime minister in the world who cannot be hacked is Manmohan Singh. Why? Because he never used any email, he never used any mobile. Best go back to your old telephone, it can never be hacked. The Kremlin way, use typewriters. I believe they have gone back to typewriters. But there's a caveat there. In 1952, CIA used typewriter ribbons to expose a double agent. He was a double agent for KGB as well as CIA. They found out by looking at the typewriter ribbon. Now, what is the result of all this? You are confused, you are dazed, ignorance is bliss. You have no clue what to do other than pray, of course, which can prove morning itself. Let me not be hacked today. All the Ishtadevas. And we are absolutely scared. Okay? So I am very happy that there are experts here who will tell us what to do and how to protect ourselves. Now, the topic given to me is the perspective of a layman. So since I attend lots of board meetings and all that, I thought I'll give a few clues to the techies. What are the things you should do? Don't frighten us. We are already frightened. See, the directors, after Schedule 4, they don't want to be directors. Independent directors have to do so many things. In fact, if they read once, they will submit resignation. So you don't want to frighten them more, saying that this has happened, that has happened, factory can go to dogs, your files can go to dogs, tomorrow company can come to a standstill, all that we already know sort of. Don't use too many jargons, okay? The more jargons you use, probably you can charge more, but our heartbeats will be faster, BP will go up. Segregate controllable, non-controllable. Don't give the impression to any board or MD or anyone that whatever I do, you will be safe. There is nothing called safe. You will be attacked, and how soon you are located is the most important thing. So please remember that. And emphasize best practices are adopted. Whatever is the best practice happening today, we are doing that. Will that be overdone? It will be overdone. Tomorrow in 24 hours, they will come up with something else. That we will do the continuous race after that. These are beautiful words of Martin Luther King. Today, our very survival depends on our ability to stay awake, to adjust to new ideas, to remain vigilant, and to face the challenge of change. This is not changed. This will not change in the next 1,000 years. This is something which we have to remember. This is something we have to apply on a daily basis. Before I close, actually I had half an hour which was cut down to 15 minutes. So I had to rush through this very fast. But few things which I wanted to tell you. A lot of things which are coming which will make us sleep better. One of the things is blockchain. Blockchain is the technology behind Bitcoins. And 4 of the biggest banks in the world today are working on blockchain. Blockchain is absolutely foolproof. It has a complete record of what transactions have happened. It cannot be deleted. It cannot be broken into. And things like that are coming. So you don't have to be frightened. Don't lose sleep today saying that, my God, what will happen to my bank account? Very soon, all this will be protected. Secondly, all this has not happened today, because I think Ramkumar mentioned to us, it started in 1903 or something like that, with Enigma, which was the German code which was broken by the British. So this has always been a race between the good and the bad, and it will continue. And I have 2 people for whom you can go and look at. One is Frank Abagnale Jr., one of the biggest crooks of all time. By the age 19, he became the biggest international crook. By the age of 19, he cheated many governments in Europe and many companies, many hospitals. He has done everything. He became a judge at the age of 19. So Frank Abagnale Jr., you will all remember if I tell you the movie name, Catch Me If You Can. How many of you have seen Catch Me If You Can? Obviously. So if any of you have not seen Catch Me If You Can, kindly go and see that movie. And that guy has written a book also called The Art of the Steal. It's one of the best books ever written by a fraudster. This, of course, he became a FBI consultant later because they said, what are you doing in a jail? You will be better off with us trying to catch the criminals. The biggest criminal of the world became an FBI consultant. He has written a book called Art of the Steal, highly recommended, because he has given almost every trick which you have, which you can employ. The technology only has to be updated. You can actually ask him to update it. He only told the US government, give me $300 million, I'll print US dollar notes which you will not be able to distinguish. Such a smart guy. Read about Frank Abagnale Jr. The second one is Tobichi Onuvara. Tobichi Onuvara is from Nigeria. He gave the slip to a Federal Bureau of Investigation, one of the smartest crooks and one of the smartest fellows who operated. You want to know more about him, go and Google America's Most Wanted, Tobichi Onuvara. You will see a video which will be like a Hollywood movie, how he cheated this Federal Bureau of Investigation. Thank you very much for this, and the time is 12:02. I suppose I have done my job. Thank you.